Hey guys, Ron White here, two-time USA memory champion. My company is called Brain Athlete. And so Brain Athlete deals with memory, it deals with speed reading, it deals with learning anything fast, but it also deals with everything that's inside of the brain. And a lot on this channel, I talk about anxiety, depression, and panic attacks and that kind of thing, because it's something that in my process of becoming a brain athlete that I've had to deal with. I used to be overcome with anxiety and panic attacks. So in this video, I want to talk about what is a panic attack, the right way to deal with it, and the wrong way to deal with it. Because in my life, I've dealt with it the wrong way, and it's destroyed some important part of my life. But now I handle it the right way, and it's made all the difference in the world. So being part of a brain athlete is having a good memory, and I do have a memory course called Black Belt Memory down below in the comments or the description of this video. If you want to get my Black Belt Memory course, just click that link and download it. Watch this video on panic attacks and anxiety, and then when it's done, get the memory course, Black Belt Memory. So first of all, what is a panic attack? A panic attack occurs when there's some stimulus. And that stimulus, whether it's something that somebody says, or it's a thought, or it's a sound, you hear people who have PTSD, they've been to war. They were in a war zone, they heard a sound, and then there was an explosion. Maybe that sound was just a horn honking. Then they go back to the United States, and they hear a horn honking, and boom, it sets off the same panic that happened after that, the bomb explosion in war, because that's a trigger that triggers the same emotions. But the problem is the bomb's not there. They're still feeling the same panic and anxiety and fear and terror, but it's not real. But their mind doesn't know it's not real. This is PTSD, but panic attacks don't have to be set off from that kind of thing. It just could be from any situation that you let your mind take control and go down an irrational and a negative thought. And when this happens, here's some ideas, some feelings. A panic attack can be characterized by a sense of impending doom. Oh my God, everything's out of control. The sky is falling. The world is about to end. My world is about to end. It's over. Life is never going to be good again. This is the worst thing that can happen. This is terrible. That's a panic attack. It can be a fear of loss. Oh my God, I just lost this person. This relationship just ended. This is terrible. I've lost it. I'll never have that again. I'll never feel good again. A fear of loss. It could be, or maybe just a fear of a rapid heart rate. Your heartbeat is beating really fast. And this could be a sign of a panic attack. Sweating. You could start literally sweating, and you'd have no reason to be sweating. You didn't just run a marathon, but your body is reacting in this unusual way because it's going through a panic attack. Another example of it could be maybe you have headaches or dizziness. Sometimes in my panic attacks, my face would tingle. I would get this sensation like, oh my God, my face is tingling. It gets numb. It would be the weirdest feeling. Dizziness could be a feeling of a panic attack or detachment. Now, when these things happen, let's first of all talk about the wrong way to deal with them. And I dealt with it in these wrong ways. An absolute wrong way to deal with a panic attack is to go grab some alcohol. And that would be how I used to deal with it. I would get overcome with anxiety. Oh my gosh, I'm so stressed. I'm having so much anxiety. I'm breathing so hard. My heart's racing. You know what I'm gonna do to solve this? I'm gonna go binge drink. Give me a double shot of scotch. Boom, slammed it. Oh man, okay, I feel a little bit better. Well, if I feel a little bit better with one shot, 2 shots is gonna make me feel a lot better. Boom, slam that one down. Boom, slam that one down. Boom, slam that one down. Now I've had 6 doubles. I've had 12 shots. This is not an example that I'm just making up. This was the life that I lived. And I didn't drink alcohol every day, but once every couple of months I'd have a panic attack and I would binge drink. And then what would happen? Then I would just do stupid stuff. Maybe I'd get in the car and drive drunk. Or maybe I would go confront somebody and get in a fight, physical or verbal. Terrible. Binge drinking is a horrible way to deal with anxiety, and it's completely wrong. I've not had a drink of alcohol in 27 months. I haven't had a single drink of alcohol in 27 months. Now, here's the thing. I gave up alcohol not because I was an alcoholic. I didn't drink every day. I drank once every 2 or 3 months, but when I did, it was a solution to a panic attack. Well, I eliminated alcohol from my life. Why? Because I don't want it to be an option anymore. Whenever I have a panic attack, I don't want to say, let's go have a drink. because that's not an option in my life anymore. I have to deal with it in a different way, a healthy way. So alcohol is a terrible way to deal with it. Going and confronting somebody is a terrible way to deal with it. If you're having a panic attack, going to somebody that you have conflict with or that you have a disagreement with, that's not the time to solve it. If you have somebody that upsets you in your life and it irritates you in your life, going and talking to that person in the middle of your panic attack is the absolute worst thing that you could do. It's gonna elevate to a fight, whether it's physical or verbal, and that is the worst thing to do. Do not drink alcohol during a panic attack. Do not go confront somebody that you have a disagreement or an argument with in a panic attack. In a panic attack, in life, think about this for a second. In every decision that you make, there is a gap between stimulus and response. In everything, there's a stimulus, and there's a space, and there's a response. Sometimes we think we have to react right now. You have a stimulus, it sends you into a panic attack. Guess what? There's a space before you respond. That space is your friend. In that, use that space to make the right decision. How do you respond properly to a panic attack? My dad, who has passed away now, he also had anxiety and panic attacks. Now maybe I know the pattern that I inherited it from. Maybe I inherited, who knows how I got it, but he had it, and I had it as well. My dad would deal with it in a very unique way, and this is a tool that may help you. I would see my dad just, he was a police officer for 45 years. So I assume his panic attacks originated from things he saw in the police force in that 45 years. But at the age of 72, we'd be sitting in his living room, and he'd be like, okay, I'm having a panic attack. He was intelligent enough to identify it and then respond properly. He also used to satisfy his panic attacks with alcohol. He also made the same decision I did to give up alcohol. This is how he would deal with his panic attacks. He would pick 5 spots in the room, and he would just say, window, and it doesn't matter what they are. Window, let me use this room I'm in. Window, lights, camera, computer, chair. He would pick 5 items in the room, and then he would start over. Window, lights, camera, computer, chair. Then he would start over. Window, lights, camera, computer, chair. And he would continue that until his panic attack was gone. It might be 10 or 15 minutes. But what was he doing? He was distracting his mind from the source of the panic attack. Whatever set it off, he was pushing that out of his brain. He was thinking about something calm and repetitive. And he just focused on those 5 things until it was gone. It was a wonderful, 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 wonderful way to deal with a panic attack. And I saw my dad do that many, many times. And I have so much respect and admiration for how he handled the panic attacks that way. Me personally, what do? I will close my eyes if it's appropriate to close my eyes, and I will breathe. I breathe in through my nose and out through my mouth. And I do that until the panic attack is gone. Sometimes what I like to do is imagine myself as an astronaut floating through space as I do those breathing exercises, something really, really calm. Another thing that I will do in my panic attacks is you could implement a form of meditation. I don't necessarily meditate other than the breathing and the floating in space that I just talked to you about. But if meditating is something you do, that is really good. One thing that I will do is something called CBT, cognitive behavioral therapy. A lot of panic attacks are results of irrational thoughts. An irrational thought could be, oh my God, that person's not calling me. That person is mad at me. Oh my God, that person's gonna break up with me. They don't like me. They haven't called me. These are irrational thoughts that have no basis in anything other than maybe past trauma, and you're trying to connect the dots with that. So CBT, cognitive behavioral therapy, would be, how do I know that person's about to break up with me? How do I know that person is mad at me? What else could they be doing right now that is they're not calling me or they're not answering the phone? Oh, well, maybe they're taking a nap. Oh, maybe they're in the shower. Maybe they're on a phone call with their mom. Oh, maybe they're talking to a friend. Maybe one of their friends is having a panic attack and they're talking to one of their friends, helping one of their friends. Maybe they're out mowing the yard. Maybe they're at a movie. There could be so many things going on right now. This is cognitive behavioral therapy. When you get an irrational thought, you want to combat it with a rational thought to calm yourself down out of those panic attacks. And finally, a great cure for panic attacks is to just get outside. Go outside, get the fresh air, and go for a walk. Go for a walk, get some exercise, do some push-ups if you want, do some sit-ups, run, jog, lift weights, do a sport, tennis or baseball or jiu-jitsu or yoga. But if you can change your body's state. I told a guy I was talking to once who's an expert in, and I might have him on this channel one day talking about panic attacks. He's an expert in it. And I told him, I said, man, Mark's his name. I said, Mark, I was having a panic attack and I just started breathing. And over a period of 30 minutes, the panic attack was gone. And he said, of course. I said, what do you mean, of course? He said, anxiety cannot exist in a relaxed body. So if you can relax your body through meditation, through breathing, through exercise, through going through a walk, you can get yourself out of that panic attack. But remember this, the worst thing to do is to turn to alcohol or drugs. It may change. You won't be in a panic attack anymore. You'll be in an inebriated or intoxicated or drugged up state. Yeah, that's true. But what are you going to do then? Are you going to get in the car? Are you going to get in a fight? Are you going to do something crazy? You're not solving the problem. You're not advancing yourself any as a human. You know what giving up alcohol forced me to do? It forced me to deal with my problems. You're just masking the problem if you're turning to alcohol. But by learning how to control it and find the source of it, I'm figuring out how to deal with this panic attack right now. So don't turn to alcohol. Don't turn to drugs. And I'm not saying you got to give up alcohol. That's extreme. That's what I did. If you can enjoy a beer at a baseball game or a glass of wine with dinner, do it by all means. It's just something that I chose to do. And maybe one day I'll have alcohol again when I have proven to myself that I don't need it anymore for panic attacks. But don't turn to alcohol, don't turn to drugs. Use these techniques, pick 5 spots in the room and just say them to distract your mind until you calm down. Do breathing, do exercise, do meditation, do yoga. Realize what a panic attack is. Do the thought process and asking the questions, rational questions. And I think you're gonna be happy when you learn you can treat it in this way. Here's the thing, guys. When you can master your mind, you can master anything. That's the secret to life. The secret to life is not defeating someone else. The secret to life is mastering your own mind. If you want to master your own mind and improve your memory, get my Black Belt Memory course. It's down below in the comments. I have a course down there. Click the link, get my gift, my Black Belt Memory gift, and then get my Black Belt Memory course. If this helped you deal with panic attacks and anxiety, give me a like or give me a thumbs up. Comment down below if you have panic attacks, how you deal with your panic attacks and anxiety. There's no shame in it. There's nothing to be ashamed of or embarrassed about. I talk about it openly, put it out on YouTube for everybody in every country with internet access to hear about, and I don't care. All right? I'll see you on the next video.